My family's always been pretty close. We have always played like family game night where we played Monopoly, and my dad would make terrible deals, and to this day we always talk about that.
I had an amazing childhood. I have two amazing parents that, blessed us more than we deserved. I grew up going to church. Sundays we were there twice on Sundays, Wednesday night, anytime the doors were open. And it wasn't just us going to church. Like, we understood as kids of my parents that this is part of who we are. It's more than just a thing that we do. After college, got into a relationship that wasn't a great relationship, and it was for 7.5 years. I made the decisions to do things that I did, and some of that pushed my family away. I'd always had a great relationship with my parents and with my brother and sister, but that time in life, that season in life, was not good for those relationships. I'm
very grateful that even through some of the things that I chose, that my parents never left my side, and they always told me, the biggest thing they told me was, you can always come home. It doesn't matter what you do or what you say, who you say or do it with, just know you can always come home, and we'll always love you, and that will never change. And of course you're like, yeah, okay, all right, you say that, but it's true. I remember there were times in college where I was like, I don't know where else to go. And I go home, and they were like, yeah, of course. Yeah, no problem.
While I pushed my parents away, they were still right there. Much like when we push God away, we know we turn around and He's right there, right next to us. That relationship failed. My career was not in shambles, but it wasn't heading the way that I wanted it to be. Really, when all that started happening is when I guess my eyes were opened up again. It's like, hey, you're not being the man that you were raised to be. I would go to work, come home, change, go to the gym for 2 to 3 hours, come back home from the gym, and I would turn Christian music on and just really, honestly, almost every night I spent every second in the Word until I couldn't keep my eyes open. I was baptized at 7 years old, and I knew what baptism was, but it was, late 20s, early 30s where that light finally turned on and was like, all right, this is what it means to die to self every day and give up control of your own life and say, God, look, I'm simply living out what you've got for me. The true honor is to say, you know what, Mom, Dad, y'all were right. Y'all raised me the right way, and I had to see it for myself. And for me to not only see it for myself, but live it out, I think is the best way to honor my parents.
They know you're a grown adult. I know that they're still my parents, and I want to honor them, but it looks different than, I'm not going to do this because you want me to, which is, I think, kind of looks when you're younger. You want to do things to please them and make them proud of you and all these things, whereas when you get older, you start to realize that they may not agree with what you're doing, but if you are doing what the Lord has called you to do, and if it aligns with Scripture, and you have those conversations with them, that they'll understand.
I think it's that gratefulness of being able to come back around and say, you know what, thank you. Thank you for raising me the way that you did.